Dayan, Rabbanim, His Excellency the Israeli Ambassador, President of the United Synagogue, President of the Board of Deputies, His Worshipful the Mayor, Member of Parliament, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Despite the original plans of the program to have a serious gap between the speech of the Israeli ambassador and my address, I find myself following the ambassador almost immediately, and I believe that this is a clear symbol that Anachnu Tzimudim, our community is totally at one with Medinat Yisrael. We support Israel, we're proud of Israel, and tonight we celebrate with the entire Jewish people the glorious and wonderful 70th anniversary of Medinat Yisrael. Ambassador Regev, thank you so much for being such an outstanding representative of the State of Israel and for all the time that you spent coming to our communities. You are a remarkable shagrir, and we cannot thank you enough for being an ambassador par excellence. We're just about to commence the Ma'ariv service to be led by Tnuat Bnei Akiva. For me, as I know is the case for many of you, it's one of the great highlights of my year. The Ruach that emanates from the Tnuah and which will come forth from this shul is something simply extraordinary, and in anticipation of that Ruach, and in gratitude to the Tnuah, I would like to thank everyone in Bnei Akiva, not just for what you're doing for us this evening, but for the manner in which you are strengthening and enhancing Jewish life for young Jewish people in this country, as is the case for all that which Bnei Akiva does throughout the Jewish world. During our Sedarim Shel Pesach, we quoted the Mishnah from Masechet Brachot, where Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah declared, Harei ani keven shiv'im shana, it is as if I am 70 years old. The story is familiar. At the age of 18, he needed to prove to his colleagues that he had the ability and the capacity to take on the distinguished role of Nasi, spiritual head of our people. But my question to you is, why shiv'im shana? To prove his point, surely he could have said, it's as if I'm 50 years, 60 years, 80 years, 75. Why dafka 70? And I believe that we can derive an answer from the Midrash Zutta, which tells us that there are 70 occasions on which the number 70 is featured within our tradition. The first was when Jacob came down to Egypt, b'shiv'im nefesh, with 70 souls altogether. And then we have Moshe, who wanted to spread his ability to prophesy for the people onto the shoulders of others, and therefore there were shiv'im zikenim, 70 elders of the people who shared his prophecy. According to our tradition, shiv'im panim la Torah, the Torah has 70 faces, 70 angles, 70 levels of depth at which we can appreciate the beauty of its teachings. According to our tradition, HaKadosh Baruch Hu has 70 names. The city of Jerusalem has 70 names. After the dispersion of mankind following the Tower of Babel debacle, there were 70 languages on earth. And after Noah's flood, 70 nations were born. During the festival of Sukkot in temple times, 70 sacrifices were brought during the festival as a symbol of all 70 nations on earth. And here we are taught a very significant lesson. More than any other occasion on our calendar, Sukkot is an example of Jewish pride, of the particular nature of our Jewish identity. After all, you can perform all other mitzvot in secret, underground, but not the mitzvah of Sukkah. By definition, A sukkah is only kasher if it is exposed to the elements, if it is noticed by people, and through our sukkot we declare we're Jewish and we're proud of it. And in addition, during the festival of Sukkot, we brought 70 sacrifices representing all nations of earth in order to teach that we are blessed to have a particular identity for the sake of our universalistic aspirations. I don't know if you've been counting, we've mentioned 8 so far. Number 9 is the fact that King Solomon built his temple on 70 pillars. And finally, there are 70 holy days on the calendar every year. 52 Shabbatot. 7 days of Pesach, 7 days of Sukkot, that's 59, 66. And then according to Torah law, 1 day of Shavuot, 1 day of Rosh Hashanah, 1 day of Yom Kippur, and 1 day of Shmini Atzeret, bringing us up to the number 70. So therefore we see that 70 is a symbol of perfection, of completion. Everything that is significant in this world is represented by the number 70, HaKadosh Baruch Hu B'chvodo V'atzmo, the Holy One, blessed be He. All nations on earth, all languages, Jerusalem, and so on. And surely this is what Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah sought to convey. It's as if I am 70 to indicate you can trust on me. It's as if I am perfect, I'm the real thing, I'm the whole thing. And that certainly is the case with regard to Medinat Israel as we celebrate her 70th anniversary. No country on earth is perfect, including Israel. But isn't Israel amazing? Simply remarkable. And if you look back on the 70 past years, look at what she has achieved. So often with her hands tied behind her back, against the odds. It's simply extraordinary. Israel is the real thing. Something through which we can derive so much pride within the entire Jewish world. In Pirkei Avot we are taught, Ben Shiv'im Laseva, when you reach the age of 70, you have gray hair. This is to indicate that at the age of 70, you've had many years of experience sufficient through which you can be a role model unto others, and that's exactly what Israel serves as today. An outstanding role models for all countries and all peoples on earth, not just to the Jewish people. Through the manner in which Israel has succeeded in so many areas of endeavor. And Israel is a role model, regardless of whether other nations appreciate it or appreciate her or not. But let us ask, how is it possible, bearing in mind the greatness of Israel and her achievements, that there are some who don't appreciate her in the right way? There are 2 Hebrew words which have the same letters, oneg and nega. Ayin nun gimel ayin. The difference between oneg and nega is where you put your ayin. In oneg it's before the nun gimel, in nega it's after the nun gimel. Oneg means pleasure and nega means a plague. The difference between a pleasure and a plague is where you put your ayin, that is to say, where you put your eye, how you view the situation. 2 people can have the identical experience if one enters into it with the decision poised to find whatever negative thing they can find. They will emerge saying, this is a nega, it's a plague. But if one comes into the situation with one's eyes open to witness the reality, the truth, one will emerge saying, wow, isn't it an oneg? This is a remarkable pleasure. And that is the story of Israel today. It's a genuine, wonderful, and outstanding oneg. And in Hallel, we're going to be reciting the words, Even ma'asu habonim hayetai l'rosh pinah. The stone rejected by the builders has become a cornerstone. That is the story of Israel, rejected by so many of the builders of our civilization, proclaiming that it is a nega, a plague. But in reality, it's a cornerstone of our civilization, a beacon of light, a country serving as a veritable role model for all of mankind today. as we recognize the qualities of Israel and what she has gone through to reach this 70th birthday, we acknowledge the cornerstone nature and feature of her existence, leading us on in the Hallel to say, Me'et Hashem ha'itazot hi niflat be'einenu. This could only have come about, seeing as it is from Hashem. It is simply wondrous in our eyes, only 3 years after the end of the Shoah, that we were able to establish our state and against all odds to defend ourselves and to succeed in such a remarkable manner all the way through to this 70th anniversary. Let us therefore culminate our feelings and thoughts through declaring with pride this evening, Ze hayom asa Hashem, nagila v'nismecha bo. This is the day that the Lord has made. We will be glad and rejoice thereon. Chag Sameach.